What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I'm coming to you with some more fighting. This is a UFC bout with Daniel Cormier and Derrick Lewis. You know, Derrick Lewis is known for his charismatic interviews, some of the epic interviews, but he was submitted by Daniel Cormier in the second round, 2 minutes of 18 seconds into that fight. And, you know, that's expected, you know, and you hear a lot of people saying this, saying that about particularly how the fight was. And, you know, Daniel Cormier should be ashamed of himself for taking a fight like that. Well, let me shine a little light on you guys about, if you don't know about UFC. UFC has one particular person running the show, okay? The Wizard of Oz behind the scenes doing it all, and that's Dana White, okay? Dana White, he is the one that makes these fights, all right? And so that's one of the differences between UFC and boxing. Boxing has many promoters, okay? Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, you know, Al Heyman, you name it, you know, but UFC does not. So that's one of the cons. You know, it can be a pro at times, but in this situation, it was a con, and let me explain why. The charismatic interviewed, my balls was hot, you know, Derrick Lewis gave, you know, when he took off his pants and he just had his briefs or his tights on, and they asked him, why, Joe Rogan, you know, why you have your pants off? My balls was hot. You know what I mean? It was classic, but, you know, he was like, hey, I need to sit my black ass down, do some cardio, you know, and all that technical shit. I need rest. Okay. Listening to that interview, that showed you he already had a tough fight. He was getting beat every round, okay, until he stopped that dude with his freakish power, okay? So what I can extract from that interview told me that Derrick Lewis wasn't ready for that fight. He wasn't ready for that fight. They just pushed him and rushed him into that fight with Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier is always a guy that's ready to fight. He's always in shape, you know. He's one of the best. He hasn't beat he's beat some of the best, but he hasn't beat the best. You know what I mean? He's always had that hang up with, you know, Bones Jones, but that's another story. Anyway, he's a very technical guy. You know what I mean? He has many skills. Derrick Lewis don't. Okay? Like he said, I ain't with that technical shit. You know? You know? And I don't think that it was right for Dana White to throw him in there with Daniel Cormier. You know what I mean? I understand the ranking systems and how they go, but it shows you, you know, how strict and how by the rankings he goes, though. So that is a pro. But that's why you don't see UFC fighters with a lot of undefeated records, like boxing also, because guys get in there and fight the guys according to the ranking systems, okay? And you only have one. You don't have 4 or 5, you know, the WCBC, the WBA, the IBF, the IBO, and all that, you know? So, but I do think it was wrong. I think they should have prolonged the fight to allow Derrick Lewis to give him the decent amount of time to be ready for a fight with Daniel Cormier and all the skills that he possesses. That's just like throwing Deontay Wilder in there with a prime Lennox Lewis. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, that wouldn't be well. That wouldn't go as well. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis would destroy Deontay Wilder, and he would probably pepper him like he did David Tua, or, you know, or knock him out like he did Michael Grant, if you guys can remember that fight. You know, so it's like more of a guy that's inexperienced versus a guy that's very experienced. And then you want that guy that's inexperienced, you know, you just want to throw him in there with one of the top guys in the sport. You know, so I thought that was rather shitty. You know what I mean? But Daniel Cormier, he doesn't really get credibility for that because, you know, everyone expected that. You know, and people that know Derrick Lewis, he wasn't about that technical shit, you know, and he needed cardio, meaning he needed training. He needed time to train. He probably needed a strength and conditioning coach. He needed a lot of things before getting his ass in there with Daniel Cormier. So anyway, I'm not going to waste too much time on it. You guys tell me what you think about that particular match. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.